Hey everyone, welcome back to Ganai's F1 News. We're diving straight into what has to be one of the most shocking weekends of 2026. According to motorsport.com and Autosport, Ferrari rolled into Hungary with what rivals describe as the most nimble chassis on the grid. Absolutely perfect for a circuit where cornering agility matters way more than top speed. And yet, somehow, neither Lewis Hamilton nor Charles Leclerc could even snag pole position. More jaw-dropping than that, neither driver managed to bring home a single podium finish. For a team with that kind of machinery advantage, it's nothing short of a masterclass in how to completely waste a golden opportunity. Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur knew before the weekend even started they needed Sunday results, not Friday headlines. But the Scuderia delivered the opposite. This is exactly the kind of result that could haunt them for the rest of the season. Now let's talk about the actual winner. According to Autosport and Motorsport.com, Lando Norris absolutely dominated the Hungarian Grand Prix to secure McLaren's first victory of this season. The defending world champion started from pole position and, while Oscar Piastri managed to overtake him at the start with a brilliant cutback into Turn 2, Norris showed he had the pace to control the race. When mechanical gremlins took Piastri out of the equation partway through, Norris cruised to victory. And here's the thing. F1 TV analyst James Hinchcliffe reckons Norris would have won this race anyway, even without his teammates' problems. The McLaren driver has been exceptionally sharp all season. He actually claims he's driving better in this half of 2026 than he was during his championship-winning campaign last year, and this dominant performance in Budapest proves his point. Here's something truly impressive. Max Verstappen finished second. Now you might be thinking, well, that's what you'd expect from Max. But according to motorsport.com, Verstappen himself was shocked. He literally said after the race, "How the hell did I end up here?" The thing is, Verstappen had been struggling all weekend. Red Bull keeps discovering new problems at practically every Grand Prix, and Hungary was no exception. His car had sustained damage during the race, but despite running a damaged vehicle that probably should have struggled to finish, he managed to haul it home in second place. Coming off the back of a difficult season for the team, it's the kind of result that builds momentum heading into the summer break. Now, let's talk about Oscar Piastri's afternoon turning absolutely rough. According to Autosport and Motorsport.com, Piastri was leading the race beautifully but got caught in lap traffic during his pit stops. That's when Carlos Sainz, driving for Williams, made contact with him while being lapped, and Piastri did not hold back his frustration on the radio. He called the incident unacceptable, and honestly, you can't blame him. The stewards handed Sainz a 5-second penalty, but by then, the damage was already done. To make matters worse, Piastri's McLaren suffered a gearbox failure shortly after, forcing him to retire from the race. After the race, Piastri accepted McLaren's strategy calls but absolutely tore into Sainz in that blue flag situation. The whole incident raises serious questions about whether lapped cars are paying enough attention to what's happening around them. Lewis Hamilton had another frustrating weekend that didn't go as planned. According to motorsport.com and Sky F1 analyst coverage, the 7-time world champion qualified second but faced a 3-place grid penalty for obstruction during qualifying. Then, during the race itself, he received a 5-second penalty for exceeding the pit lane speed limit by just 0.1 kilometers per hour. You read that right. 1/10 of a kilometer per hour over the limit cost him significant positions. Sky F1 pundit Anthony Davidson was genuinely baffled by the decision, analyzing the onboard footage and questioning whether such a marginal infraction really warranted the penalty. The combination of the grid penalty and the pit lane penalty essentially ended Hamilton's race. It's a stark reminder of just how fine the margins are in Formula One, and how one tiny mistake, or one marginal infraction, can completely derail your weekend. One of the weirdest technical issues of the day? According to both motorsport.com and Autosport, a blue flag system malfunction caused absolute chaos on track. Multiple drivers were inexplicably ignoring blue flags, which normally tell drivers they're about to be lapped. But it wasn't driver error, it was a complete system failure. Modern F1 has evolved from old-school trackside flag waving to sophisticated in-cockpit notifications on the steering wheel. On Sunday, those in-cockpit blue flag notifications simply stopped working for multiple drivers. You can imagine the confusion. Drivers didn't know they were being lapped, and faster cars couldn't understand why lap traffic wasn't moving over. It created a genuinely dangerous situation and contributed directly to some of the chaos we saw during the afternoon. The FIA and technical teams identified and fixed the issue, but it's a reminder that even in this ultra-high-tech era, sometimes the simplest systems can create the biggest headaches. George Russell had an absolute shocker of a day. According to motorsport.com, Russell started 6th but dropped to 20th place at the very first corner when his Mercedes suffered an anti-stall malfunction at the start line. This wasn't Russell's fault at all. In fact, Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff explicitly absolved him of responsibility. The car simply stopped responding properly despite Russell following all the correct procedures as directed by his engineer. Russell basically had his race decided before turn 1, and he's now 59 points behind his teammate in the championship battle. After the race, he said he was beyond disappointed, and rightfully so. For Mercedes, this kind of start-line failure is exactly the kind of mistake that costs you championships, and it's a stark reminder that this team still has plenty of work to do on reliability. On a more positive note, heading into the summer break, there's fresh technology coming down the pipeline. According to Autosport, Honda has announced it will debut its brand new Formula One power unit this Wednesday, literally tomorrow from the race, at an Aston Martin filming day right here at the Hungaroring. Aston Martin just released its B-Spec AMR26 car at Hungary and showed clear pace improvements in both qualifying and race conditions. This new Honda engine is being positioned as the next step in their development journey. For Aston Martin, it's the kind of upgrade that could genuinely shake up the midfield battle. With the season hitting the summer break after Hungary, teams are furiously developing upgrades, and this new Honda power unit is exactly the kind of technical advantage that could make a real difference when everyone reconvenes.